Have you ever noticed that if there's a contest, even you will do things you normally wouldn't do? It's like, you're fine. You're making plenty of money. You're doing fine. But then they say, well, there's this trip contest. And you're like, well, I have to go on the trip. So you do something that you normally wouldn't have done. The challenge itself created action in you that normally wouldn't have been there. You recruit when you wouldn't have recruited. For everybody, we're all wired this way. And sometimes, for me, I'm driven around this. I mean, really driven around short-term bursts. I mean, I'm wired that way. Some people, I will tell you, they're really good at daily activity. They're really good at being disciplined every day. Every day, I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk to 2 people a day. I'm going to recruit 10 people a month. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. They're structured and they're scheduled. That is not me. I get bored really easy. My attention span is very, very small. So you need to give me a little competition. And I'm competitively wired. I want to win. If I feel like I can win, I want to win. So, and I want other people to win. So number one, I'll do it for myself, but number two, I'll use whatever the competition is to get better behavior out of people in my organization. I mean, if I got 2 people joining my group, first of all, I'm going to find out some people are not wired for competition. If you ask them to compete, they'll actually run the other way. Other people are like, and I'll find out really fast. I bring in John and I bring in Mary. And Mary goes and signs up 3 customers. I'm going to go to John and say, guess what? Mary already recruited 3 customers. Isn't that unbelievable? And John goes, well, I can do that. I said, really? I don't know. Mary's pretty strong. He goes, oh, really? And John goes and brings in 4. Then I go back to Mary and said, guess what? John just passed you up. He thinks he's better because he's a man. And Mary goes, oh yeah? I'm going to go recruit 10 people. Then I go back and says, guess what? Mary said she's going to go recruit 10 people this month. And John goes, well, not faster than me. And I will use that. I will use these tools all day long, every day, constantly. And if somebody uses it on me, even though I know they're using it on me, it still works. If there's a cruise, I'm going on the cruise. If there's a leaderboard or somebody's going on stage or there's a trophy that I can get on stage at the company event, I'm getting the trophy. I have to get the trophy. So, contests, incentives, promotions, short bursts, limited time only, these types of things work really, really well. So I'm going to give you a list of a lot of different campaigns and challenges that you can take the idea and then customize it to you. And I would encourage you to find a time during this year to try every single one of these at some point. Now, number 1, product use challenge. A product use challenge. Let's say you have 10 different products. You can do a product use challenge with a new product launch. Let's say there's a new product. You can go to your team and say, we are doing the 7-day ABC product challenge. Everybody on the team is going to use this challenge, is going to engage in this challenge, and here's the challenge. The challenge is you have to use this product for 7 straight days. You have to document the process, and then you have to create a video of what the product did for you and put it on Facebook in 7 days. And whoever does that is going to be put on a leaderboard, and we're going to rate the videos. We're going to give prizes for the people who do the best videos at the end of the 7 days. And everybody that does it's going to get put into a drawing that gets some ABC award. Who's in? So this is a great challenge if you're launching a new product. It's a great challenge if you maybe have an obscure product that doesn't get a lot of love. Maybe you take that obscure product and that gets the challenge for 7 days. See what I mean? All this will do is build emotional attachment to your product and use the results and the documentation of this product to get results and cause people to take more action. Okay? So think about how you could use that. And you don't have to do a contest. You don't have to do a drawing. These are just extra little ideas. And you don't have to do it 7 days. It could be 3 days. It could be a 30-day thing. It could be, if it's weight loss, maybe you do a weight loss challenge. Okay? But I would like this first challenge, and we'll talk about the weight loss, put that one aside for a second. The first one is product use. Okay? Getting people to, the ultimate result of this is multiple. One is you're going to create a more emotional connection to the product with the people on your team. 2, documenting the results of this is going to be an incredible promotional tool for your organization. When all these videos are out there, you put them in all your ad tag message groups, and everybody's freaking out over all these testimonials of these products. Make sure they're compliant, right? 3, people are wanting to make this experience amazing, so they make their video amazing or their live amazing. See what I mean? And it just keeps rippling and rippling. And 4, you get a product that wasn't getting any love. Now all of a sudden, your average monthly auto ship goes up a little bit. Maybe it's at $80 and it goes to $85. Because now people are taking the product that isn't in there, you're the one getting all the love. Okay? So that's 1, product use. And I've got a lot of them, so I'm going to have to go fast. Okay? 2 is product results. Product results. So if it's weight loss, if it's, do a challenge around the result of your product. If it's legal insurance, have a challenge that talks about the legal, the result of that legal thing, and put all those results in one place, and have a contest to see who has the best results, and all these different kinds of things. Product use or product result is going to help you. And it could be a 1-day thing. It could be 3 days. It could be 7 days. It could be 14 days. Normally, the shorter, the better. With longer ones, here's what ends up happening. If you do a 90-day one, you're going to have a lot of people say yes and very few people finish. Okay? The good soldiers will finish. If you do 30 days, you're going to have a lot of people say yes and more will finish, but a lot of them won't last 30 days. What works really, really well for these things is 7, 3, 14, 10, 5. Pick a number that works with you and then pound this, okay? Pound this. Product result or product use. And what's good about this is if you've got, weekend promos, whatever, is let's say you have, you're in the essential oil business and you have 100 different oils. Well, you could do a different promo every single month for a different oil. Could you not? A 3-day promo, get the results, hit it. If you've got 15 different, let's say you have 12 different products, you can do one every month. And people will be excited about it. People will enjoy competing. People will have fun with it. All right. Next is customer related. Customer related. It could be, and you can go multiple ways with this. You could have a promo that's just for your customers. In other words, if they refer 3 friends, they get a free product. But it's only available for the next 3 days. If you refer 3 friends in 3 days, then you get this thing. You get this free deal, you get this free thing, you get this Starbucks card, you get whatever. So you can design it around the customer itself, and you can have a customer leaderboard if you want it. and you can rank and recognize the top 10 customer referring people, or you can have a product result competition just for customers, or you can have a product testimonial competition just for customers, not for your team members. Okay? So think about it from that point of view. The other side of the customer one is a promotion about gathering customers. So you could do 7 customers in 7-day challenge. Here's the seven customer challenge. 7 customers in 7 days. Here's all the tools to do it. We're going to have a leaderboard. Everybody that gets at least 7 is going to be put into a drawing for this. They're all going to get a certificate of achievement. Certificates are easy. There's something that you could print out, you could sign, you could send to your company and have the CEO of the company sign these certificates and send them out to every single person that does 7 customers in 7 days. Okay? So certificates are free and easy. They don't cost you much. Everybody who does 7, not only can they get a certificate, but they can get put into a drawing and you can go to your company and ask them for stuff. You don't have to pay for most of this. Go to your company and say, will you give me some swag? Will you give me some t-shirts? They got a bunch sitting in their warehouse that they haven't sold. Trust me. Will you give me some hats? Will you give me a tote bag? Can you load me up with a bunch of stuff that I can give to people who get 7 customers in 7 days? That's a side note, by the way. Ask your company for stuff. Ask them for pre-product. Ask them for swag. Ask them for convention tickets. Ask them for free hotel at your next company convention when you can get together with hotel. Ask them for airfare. Ask them for everything. Ask them for a Zoom call with the CEO for the top earner to get coached. You know, see what I'm saying? The company will load you up. And you got a big stack of stuff. And now you're standing with a big stack of stuff and say, I got this big stack of stuff, and I'm going to give it to all the people. You know, the first person who does 7 in 7 is going to get their first choice. Here's the list of stuff you can get. Whoever gets the 7 first, ready, set, go. They get the 7, they get to pick the stuff. Or I saw another great thing in the Next Level Mastermind. They had a board with I don't know what it was, 50 different numbers on the board. And they got to pick a number, and whatever was behind the number was the prize that they got. And they did it on a Facebook Live. They pulled it off. Okay, you pick number 7. Okay, you pick number 7. You get a free convention ticket. You get $100 credit on product. You get, this sweatsuit with a company logo. Little tiny stuff, okay? So the 7, and then you can have a drawing you have the drawing for that. Everybody gets a certificate. Everybody gets a prize, right? It can even be small prizes, Starbucks cards, whatever. Simple little stuff. They can be put on a leaderboard. They can go inside the company website, or they can go. You can publish the leaderboard of everybody who did it. But then on top of that, for the super aggressive people, is have the top 10 or something like that. If you get into the top 10, whoever does the most, here's what the top 10 get. Okay? So this is an example of what you can do for customers specifically, prizes and rewards for them, and for gathering customers. 3 customers in 3 days, 7 customers in 7 days. Play with it. Because here's the thing, I got to tell you, kids get bored, right? So if you do 7 customers in 7 days this month and you try and do 7 customers in 7 days next month, they go, no, I heard about that one. Next month you need to it's International Recruit 3 Distributors in 1 Day. We're taking August 8th and everybody's going to recruit 3 customers in that day. You just got to shake it up, move it around. All right, next. Is this good stuff? I love this stuff. What I'm saying with you here is creativity around the fundamentals. Because all of these things are going to help you as you're developing systems. You're going to actually find some of the things that are going to end up in your long-term systems in these campaigns. You'll find them, that they're repeatable. All right. Next is recruiting. Recruiting challenges, recruiting contests. It could be recruit one person day. We're going to pick a day, and every single person on the team is going to wake up and they are not going to sleep until they recruit one person. And what are all the rewards for that? What are all the competitions for that? What are all the incentives for that? It could be 3 and 3. It could be 5 and 5. It could be a 20 and 30. You could do a 20 and 30, a whole campaign around 20 and 30. So, and like I say, play with it. It could be a 7-day challenge designed around doing one particular activity in order to be able to create a specific recruiting result. Now play with the different rewards that you get from recruiting. Next is any activity. Now, there's a great benefit in doing campaigns and challenges that are not result-driven, but they are activity-driven. Because the activity will create the result. We're trying to generate activity in order to be able to get more results, right? But if you say you have to get 3 customers to be part of this, that might be one thing. But if you say 7 Zooms, you're going to host 7 Zoom calls in 7 days with at least 20 people on the Zoom to get into a competition. Or you're going to do a Facebook Live every day talking about a different benefit or a different thing that you love about your company, about network marketing. It could be around a product. It could be around Zoom calls. It could be around having people watch a video. It could be making a list. It could be reaching out and starting a conversation. You could do a 100 conversation challenge. Here's the challenge. You have to start a conversation with 100 prospects. And that's the challenge. So any activity that's been proven to get results or will move people forward in their activity to take more action, any activity that will help them realize this isn't so scary, it can be fun. What you get in motion tends to stay in motion. So make a list of the activities that you could reward with the swag pile that you got from your company, or with company stuff, or with things that you could send out, or and there's lots of rewards that you can create that the company doesn't need to. You could do a 4-week Zoom training call just for people who complete this challenge. A 4-week Zoom training series. Come up with a really sexy title. And only the people who get to go in there. It doesn't matter what rank you are. If you didn't do this challenge, you don't get to get in there. Sorry. So lots of different things you can do in terms of rewards. Tools. If you have a tool that's working for you, if it's a physical tool or a printed or a video tool, if it's a webinar, if it's an ATM group, whatever you want to use down that rewarding, like one of the campaigns that I did that became a long-term part of the system, this was back in the day, it's different now, but it's back in the day of audio cassettes and video cassettes. We had a system called 2 a day. And we had a campaign to start the system, and then we had the system. So the campaign to start the system was, it was more cost effective with audio cassettes. We teach people to get 100 audio cassettes that would explain the opportunity. They'd get 100, it cost them $35 to get 100 of them. They'd put their phone number on the audio cassette, and their assignment was to pass out 100 audio cassettes to 100 people in the first 7 days. And then after that, the system was 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day. So the campaign was 107, 100 prospects getting that tool in 7 days. And then the system was 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day. But think about what you could do. Any tool you have, any video, right now it's send a link. Maybe it's teaching people how to send a link to 100 people in 7 days. Figure out how to hold that accountable. Figure out how to reward that behavior. Maybe you do it on the honor system. Maybe you don't. Maybe you come up with an accountability program in order to be able to prove that that happened. Whatever it happens to be. But tools are effective. Calendar. Next is calendar. Here's what I mean by calendar. We live in a cyclical business, right? What are the times of the year that your business slows down? It's different for different people. Some people slow down in November, December. Other people, it's their biggest months of the year, depending on your product and how giftable it is and how seasonal it is. But in either case, during the holidays, it works extremely well. Like right now, every one of you on our next level, next level mastermind call, we're actually talking about holiday campaigns and strategies to prepare for now. You need to prepare for Black Friday. You need to prepare for Thanksgiving. You need to prepare for gift giving. You need to prepare for 12 days of Christmas. You need to prepare for New Year's. But could you come up with a campaign to kick off the year strong? Any one of these. You'll get more results if you do. Can you come up with a campaign to keep people focused in the month of December? Can you come up with a campaign to take advantage of Cyber Monday and Black Friday? Can you come up with a campaign for the summer months? Can you come up with a campaign for back to school? Can you come up with a campaign for every holiday you can think of? Is it giftable during Valentine's Day? Is it giftable during Father's Day or Mother's Day? Any of your products or services? Is it giftable at all? How can you tie that so people think about it? So look at the calendar and say, okay, I need a campaign to kick off the year. I need a campaign the week after my company convention. I need a campaign to go to my company convention. I need an incentive to go into this particular season. Every year, everybody loses focus. So whatever it is, Christmas in July, stay-at-home COVID campaign, whatever the campaign is, think about the calendar and what you can do in order to be able to maximize the calendar with any one of these campaigns or challenges. But you got to get ahead of it. You can't, sometimes you can just pull it out of your back pocket, say, I'm doing it now. Other times you need to plan because, like, I'll give you an example. For Black Friday or Cyber Monday, you probably need to work with your company and say, here's what would be great, and start planning that with them now. Because you can't spring that on them with, a 1 week notice. And sometimes you need their support. Sometimes it's better if the company gets behind it, offers free shipping or does something in order to be able to help with the campaign. Okay? So they're waiting for good ideas from you, but you need to let them know. Now, a bunch of people are saying Christmas in July has worked so well this month. And here's what I'm telling you. Anything will work. Understand? Anything. Guess what doesn't work? Same old shit. It's just another month, same old shit. That doesn't work. Everybody's going to go to the beach. But if you give them a reason, they'll do it. That's what these campaigns are all about. Okay, next, rank. Campaigns around rank. Any campaign around a rank. You can do a campaign around your core rank, and we're going to talk more about core rank tomorrow. So just put that in your notes. Around top ranks, sometimes it's a campaign. Let's all push this guy or this woman to this next level. Let's all get behind it. Let's help them make it happen this month. They need one more month to qualify at this thing in order to be able to get this thing. Let's help them make it happen. See what I mean? So it could be around core. It could be around that very first rank that you maybe that's not your core rank. It could be around, pick whatever it is, but you can come up with a campaign around any of those. So let's say you've got, show me the board here again. Let's say you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ranks inside the organization. You can do a campaign around that rank. Let's get everybody from, distributor to that rank, and we're going to see how many people we can get there in the next 7 days. And we're going to celebrate the people who got there and their sponsor. Let's make it happen. But then if you want to do one for this, all you got to do is Find out in your organization how many people are at level 1 and say, let's create a competition for those people to go to level 2. And if you want to do one for this, all you got to do is say, how many people are at level 4? Let's figure out a way for them to get to level 5. So, and with these different campaigns, think about where you're going to do them, how you're going to do them. Sometimes you could do a big grand poobah campaign to see how many you're going to get there. But all of these different campaign structures can be done at different times. Some are longer, some are shorter. Some are more mass, some are more selective. Like I can do a campaign, let's say I take all the people that are level 5, okay? And let's say I have 27 of them. How can I help those people take more action to get to level 6? Do you know how I do it? Here's how I do it. I create a contest. You know, the first 5 people at this level that get here is going to get some prize. They're going to get some recognition. They're going to get some incentive. They're going to get some special perk. They're going to get some special connection to the company. They're going to get a signed photo with, ABC, whatever it happens to be. So I got 27 people. Do you think those 27 people are going to take more action if I do something like this or less? More or less? More, for sure. They're going to do more. Why? Because I created a contest. I created an incentive. I created something for them to shoot for. So lots of ways you can go at rank. You can go mass, you can go selective, you can do private little competitions, you can do lots of different ways to be able to make that happen. What are we trying to do? We're trying to create an action that isn't already created. Trying to create more action than would have been there if we hadn't made it happen. All right, I covered activity twice, so forget the activity. Next is about occupation. Occupation. Could you create a campaign around healthcare workers? Yes or no? The answer is yes. One for healthcare workers as prospects for your product. Another for healthcare workers as prospects for your opportunity. Let's say you took nurses, pick nurses out of the bag as something you need to do for, or let's pick another one, stay-at-home moms. Or let's even get more selective. Stay-at-home single moms. Or forget stay-at-home. Single moms. Because I think single moms are awesome. What if you did a campaign aimed at helping single moms? Helping single moms see an opportunity to create more freedom for themselves and for their kids. And it was talking to single moms. And all the Zooms were focused on single moms. And it was single moms talking about sharing their stories as to how they went from being scared to being free. And all you did, you had a 7-day focus on single moms. And you told everybody in the team, I want you to think of any single mom that you know, and I want you to have them plug in and listen to these stories. Are you going to get more results in that week or less? Answer's more, for sure. If you did one for police officers, do you think police officers need a little love? Are some of them looking for a career change? Possible. What if you did a campaign just around police officers? What if you did a campaign just around teachers? What if you did a campaign just aimed at small business owners that are struggling? What if you did a campaign aimed at people who've hit the glass ceiling? Whatever it happens to be. Pick it. Plumbers, chiropractors, personal trainers. Doesn't matter what it is. You can do a 3-day campaign, 5-day campaign, 7-day campaign. You can create an ad tag message group just for personal trainers inside of your company. And you're going to get better results than if it's just a general group. So, And Andrea says, money objection, get that a lot with my single moms. Have the single moms that overcame the money objection address it in your campaign. Deal with it. Show them that staying in their situation is worse than figuring out a way to do it. So, how many professions are there? How many campaigns can you do around those professions? One different profession a month, one different profession every couple of weeks. 2 weeks from now, we're going to start the campaign for accountants. And all we're going to do is invite every accountant into this campaign to have them check it out. Occupation. Incentive trips. Campaigns or challenges around incentive trips. Now, these can be company incentive trips or your incentive trip. You could rent a house, a fancy house somewhere, and invite people to that house. And again, I understand social distancing and everything else, but when you're able to do this, this works extremely well. Don't just count on your company's incentive trips. Count on the White Army campaign. Boy, that'd be an interesting campaign, Mohammed. Count on, don't just count on the company doing an incentive trip. Think about an incentive trip you could do. It could be a little whitewater rafting trip. It could be a fishing trip. It could be a skiing trip. It could be a go to a lake house trip. It could be any different kind of thing for people who achieve something, but use it in order to be able to attract different types of activity and create more people to move into that activity. Incentive trips. Convention. I've done so many campaigns into convention you can't imagine. Conventions are amazing. And when they happen again face-to-face, this is something that should be in your arsenal. For sure, spa trips, great. For sure, should be in 2021. But when that company incentive trip, I'll give you a handful of the different campaigns that I've used during that. One was a campaign that we were going to show up and represent our team. We're going to be wearing our own t-shirts. We got our own noisemakers. We all got armbands, and we're all going to show up, and we're going to just absolutely go crazy. Who's with us? So people love that. They love being part of that group, coming in and making a big spectacle. Another thing I would do is I would hold like a special welcome reception or a reception sometime during the event. And I would get the fanciest room, the presidential suite. I would invite the corporate executives to attend and the top earners to attend. And you had to earn your way into that room. You had to earn your way into that special reception. You couldn't just come if you came to the event. You had to recruit 10 people, or you had to get to X rank, or you had to qualify again, or you had to do something in order to be able to earn your way into that rank, into that room. So I would have private events. I would have different lunches. You could have lunches with the top leaders or myself or whatever if you earned this or did this or this. So time and proximity I used it to create more activity. Whoever brought more people, whoever did more activity, whoever got to a rank, whoever brought X number, whatever it happened to be, in order to be able to maximize the event. So I would make them earn it. Okay, and then I would use incentives to get there. I would use incentives while I was there. Anybody who gets tickets to the next event can come to our after party. Anybody who buys 10 tickets to the next event can come to the training that we're going to do the morning after the event is over. Okay? Anybody who buys at least $100 of the company's new launched products is going to have access to this special thing. So I would do contest incentives leading up to it, contest incentives during it, and then contest incentives immediately following. What can I do to get people to take action when they get home? Because if you don't do a contest right after an event, a lot of people go home and you lose 2 weeks of productivity. How do you get them to take action as soon as they get home? You have to think of that before it happens. So people get it right back into productivity versus going and licking their wounds and taking the time off and lowering their activity. Your job is to increase the activity. Okay? All right. I'm only halfway through. Oh my Lord. All right, I'm gonna go quick. Next is presenter incentives. I will tell you, you can measure the success of an organization based upon how many good presenters you have in the organization. So what you might want to create is a presenter school. Teach people how to speak. Teach people how to give their presentation. Teach people how to train. You could do a 6-week course in your local market or a 6-week Zoom class. And all it is for people to learn how to present the product, how to present the opportunity, how to present, how to get started. Teaching them, having them practice, creating a school, a presenter school. I remember there was one person that I trained, kind of mentored. You know who it is. I'm not going to out them, but they were kind of stuck, and it was all on them, and they were really struggling. So I came up with a challenge and a campaign for them, was to create a presenter school in their local market. And literally for 6 weeks, every Monday night for 3 hours, they got everybody together and they taught and they practiced and they taught and they practiced. And this person went from being the only person that ever did a presentation to having 20 to 30 people that were highly skilled at doing presentations, which created duplication like they'd never experienced before. So sometimes come up with a little campaign, bam, it unlocks everything. Okay. 20 and 30, we talked about that before. A 20 and 30 campaign, recruit 20 people in 30 days campaign. Do it with your team. See how many people you can get involved in that. A 90-day game plan. That's not for the meek or the weak of heart. That is a serious game plan. But a 90-day game plan strategy on how to go all out for 90 days. That you're dealing with a very small group of people that will engage in that. But sometimes, if I'm working with somebody who's stuck, my assignment for them is to do something outrageous, like a 90-day game plan or a 20 and 30, to get unstuck. That would be my assignment to them. And then I'll see if they do it. If they don't do it, then I back it up. Let's get 10, let's get 5. Let's do something to get more activity. My job is to help them take more action than they would have taken. That's what I do. That's what you do. So 90-day game plan can be part of it. One of my favorites ever is a company I work with in Europe that does this. And I've worked with a few companies in the United States that I've coached and kind of consulted with. And I helped them with this concept, and it's called the Clubhouse. And I learned this from an organization that uses a clubhouse. They actually have 4, I think now, but they started with one clubhouse in Mallorca, Spain, on the beach. And they bought this house that sleeps 20 people. It's on the beach and it's beautiful. And come back to the chart again for me. So if they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This company has 8 levels within the organization, 8 ranks within the organization. A person who is a 7 or an 8 are eligible to reserve the clubhouse. And the clubhouse is only available for new level 4s. So these people host, they book it for 3 days. These people fly themselves in. These people have the resort. They fill it with new level 4 people. They spend 3 days with them, blowing their minds, dream building, training around the clock, partying on the beach, training again, partying, connecting, training. And these people come from all over the world. They go into this unbelievable spot and they walk out of there. They go back to their dingy little houses and they go, I want some more of that. I'm going to get back there. I'm going to get a house like that of my own someday. And this mansion ended up costing the company nothing. Because they charge these guys like $1,000 a day for like cleaning and, you know, some basic food and stuff. $1,000 a day. So it cost these guys $3,000 for this event. These people fly themselves in. The company ends up having this whole kind of center, this clubhouse for free. They have 4 of these now. One in Greece, one in Mallorca, one in the United States. Where's the other one? Italy? I don't know. 3 or 4. So think about what you would do if you as a leader had the ability to have this incredible mansion that you brought all your new people that got to that rank to go to that event for 3 days, and you just poured yourself into them for 3 days. Will there be tacos? Yes, there will be tacos. So that clubhouse, I did 2 companies that I consult with are in process to doing that right now. I would highly recommend it. It's literally free for them and crazy not to do. Okay. Recognition campaigns. Could you do a recognition campaign around rank, around income, around activity, around anything? What could you do to recognize behavior people will kill to get recognized? Certificates, awards, plaques, trophies, anything. Go online and find out some trophies and find out what people will do to get that trophy with their name engraved on it. They'll do unbelievable things. Recognition. Sampling. If you're one of the biggest campaigns that's working extremely well for a lot of companies that have sampling ability is to sample their products. Sometimes the company supports a sampling program, but many times it's just the field creating a sampling program. If you get creative here, if you get creative, there's always a way. I mean, there's one company that works in hair care products. How do you sample a big bottle of hair care, shampoo, conditioner, oil treatment? How do you do that? How's that even possible? Here's what they did. They came up with a borrow basket. They call it a borrow basket. And they put this beautiful basket and they put all of their best products in there and they borrow it to a person for 3 days, for 5 days, and say, try these and see if you like them. And the number of orders they get out of the borrow basket just blows away other activities. It's just incredible. Getting people to spend big money on a big bottle that they've never tried is one thing, but get them to try a little bit of it for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, whatever it happens to be. The borrow basket strategy is working incredibly well. Sometimes if it's nutrition, it's easy to sample. Skincare, a borrow basket might work. So think about how you could use sampling to create. What are you trying to do with sampling? Create more activity than would have been there. If I show you how to put together 5 borrow baskets, are you more likely or less likely to share one of those baskets with a prospect? More likely. And from that, are you likely to get better results? Yes, because they're going to enjoy it. And are you going to get more orders from it? Are you going to build your confidence? Is it skill proof? Is it fear proof? The answer is yes. So sampling. There's lots that you can do. Campaigns on social media. You could do a campaign on Facebook Lives, a campaign around ad tag message group. You could create a sample post and have everybody in your team post it. What they call swipe copy in the marketing world. Do this in your own style. Everybody who does it gets put into a competition. You could do a watch party campaign. You could do a Zoom campaign. You could do a testimonial campaign. Lots of different things you can do on social media. Home parties or socials. You could do campaigns around those when those come back into style. Here's what I learned about home parties over the course of my career. And I know we're wrapping up here. I'm going to try and bang through these last few before we finish in about 10 minutes. But here's what I know about home parties. A lot of companies are built on home parties, and they're really built around the good soldiers that will do them, because here's typically what happens. Usually, less than 5% of people will actually have the courage to host a home party. It means 95% of people will never do one. So if you pound on home parties too hard, then you actually discourage the 95% that are too scared to do it because it's too big of a step. Okay? So you still want to reward it, you still want to promote it, but it might be a campaign to do one home party. If they've never done one, it's the only people eligible for this campaign are people who've never done one. And those people get to be part of this promotion. Okay? Or it could be a 4 home parties in 4 weeks campaign to get people to do it consistently, maybe if they've fallen out of doing them. Which would cause your leaders to do what? They've got to do it, because if they don't do it, they're not part of it. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be publishing the people who are doing it. Create some peer pressure to make it happen. So home parties, think about all the things you can do around those. Here's a big one. Contribution. There are people who will do things for charity that will never do for their own income. People that will do things for others that will never do for themselves. Create a campaign around charitable action or charitable giving. Create a campaign that will cause every local market to raise money for some powerful cause that you believe in. To create a campaign to raise money, to raise awareness, to volunteer, create a campaign to repair a playground, create a campaign to paint walls or build houses, create a campaign to support a school. Get the team together. Ask the company if they'll match some of the contributions that your team creates in order to be able to do something. You will feel so many people step into your business when you add a contribution level into your campaigns, then will show up for any other thing. You can do a walkathon, you can do a bowl-a-thon, you can do a sell the junk out of your house. You can do, everybody on the team is going to donate the first $100 in commissions that they earn this month from their opportunity. Or it's a 10% campaign for 1 month in order to be able to go towards some incredible cause. And then get it in the media. Get it being bragged about to other people. Let other people know that you're a team that cares. You're an organization that cares. Recognize the people who raise the most. Find a way to connect charitable giving and charitable work to what you do. That's pretty much, I could go, because are you seeing in each one of these, there's probably 10. In contribution, there's probably 10 different ways that you can go in this. Different ways you could look at it. This is where you need to use your creativity, and you need to test what works. What causes your organization to respond? What causes your organization to go strong? What causes your organization to take another step? What causes your organization to be able to move and take more action than they would have taken? That's what you need to be focused on. And success leaves clues. And I will tell you, not every time does what worked before work again. I remember Jordan Adler, my friend, told me he did like a little day cruise off of California coast. And it was wildly successful. So he did it again 6 months later, and it bombed completely. So you just never know. Sometimes it's repeatable, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you can't do the same thing exactly the same way. Sometimes you got to change up the logo. Sometimes you got to change the duration. Sometimes you got to make it faster with more intensity. Sometimes it's longer and rewards, greater ongoing performance. A campaign that I came up with a long time ago that became core to one company's system was what I called Players Club. And this is something I would recommend for every company also, which is create a basic level of activity. And here's how they did it inside their company. Is you'd get points. You get X number of points for a customer, X number of points for a distributor, X number of points for like 3 or 4 activities. And you had to have a certain amount of points per month. And it was pretty easy to do. All you had to do is basically be minimally active. But if you did it, you were qualified for that month. Boom. You qualified for June. You're in the club. And now if you stayed qualified for 12 consecutive months, then you started earning an extra $300 a month to go towards lifestyle or car or whatever. And if you missed a month, you had to start over. So boy, what it did for retention was unbelievable. And if you stayed for 2 years, the money went up. You stayed for 3 years, the money went up. Plus you got more and more prestige. Stayed for 4 or 5 years, the money went up. And it was worth it for the company because they were rewarding long-term retention. Because think about it, if you're in for 18 months, are you going to miss a month? Never. You're just not going to miss. You're just going to stay and stay and stay and stay and stay. Even you're like, oh God, I got to go figure this out. I got 3 days before the end of the month to get my points in. I got to get my points in to figure it out. So that's an example of something that was a short-term campaign that turned into a long-term system for them. I think they changed it to Performance Club or something like that. It started as Players Club. But it still works to this day. That was 20 years ago. I worked with that company to help create that system, 20 plus, maybe 21 years ago. It was created, still going today. So look, we got a lot to cover in a short time to get there tomorrow. 3 I'm going to go hard, just so you know. I hope you got some notes. If you got, do me a favor right now, everybody that's watching, go into the comments, even if you've been lurking, and I want you to type one thing that you liked best out of the last 3 hours. What's one thing that you liked best out of the last 3 hours? I'm curious to show. Can you throw up the slide of all the different, John, can you throw up the slide so everybody can see that and they can take a picture? One thing that you liked best. And then I got some closing ideas for you. The Clubhouse, it's good, man, I'm telling you. If I started a company, and I never will, but if I did, I would have a Clubhouse from day one. For sure. Yeah, campaigns are sexy, aren't they? I love them.